today's video I am doing the Inside Out book tag by Christina Horner. I can't believe I actually just found this tag. I've actually only seen Inside Out twice, I think, which is not much for me because I normally watch like Disney Pixar things like a million times. I remember some parts of it being hilarious, and I remember the blue one, which was the sad one, like being dragged across the floor, you know, which was kind of funny. And I remember it having a pretty profound message, which I liked. But I can't remember it very well. But anyways, this is just a sign that I need to watch Inside Out again, maybe, possibly tonight. And in the meantime, I will do this tag. So, as I'm sure we all know, Inside Out has all the different emotions, and basically this tag means comparing a book to an emotion. And it begins with, joy. Books that bring me the most joy. This was actually quite difficult to decide because most books I read bring me joy, that's why I read them. However, of course there is one that brings you more joy than others, and that will always bring you joy. And for me, I feel like everyone said this, and I tried to think of something else, but then if I thought of something else, there was just so many else's. But the one that stands out most above all else's is this side of my bookshelf right here. All Harry Potters and their spin-offs and their, well, except Cursed Child, and the Fantastic Beasts and just all those stuff. They just give me all the feels of joy. I mean, stuff happens in it that makes me unhappy, but on the whole, the Harry Potter series just brings me so much joy in so many different ways. Ew. 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 Disgust. The book I find most disgusting. First, I approach this tag from the view of like disgusting, like icky, blood, gore, gross, disgusting sort of things, and then I thought of it a different way, as in the character doing something that I personally find disgusting. And that book for me was Ferris. So now, by no means did I not enjoy this book. I absolutely loved this book. I think it's fantastic. I'm surprised how much I loved it because it was just a little tiny novella in the Lunar Chronicles, but it gives us a better insight into the villain from the Lunar Chronicles, and oh my gosh, she is disgusting. Like, the thing she does is just horrible. It makes my skin crawl, it makes me feel violated, and just disgusting. Fear. A book that brought me the most, or a lot of fear. I am not a big horror reader. I cannot do horror. My imagination seems to just go haywire, and I can watch something as simple as, I don't even know what, someone like jumping up in the mirror behind you, and for like weeks afterwards I will not only see that person jumping up in the mirror behind me, but I will have them clawing out of the mirror, I will have them dripping with blood, I will have them holding magical weapons, and things just go crazy. So I'm not good with horror because they already start pretty, you know, extreme, and then my imagination just takes it to a whole other level. So, in terms of fear, I chose to go with a book that I was actually terrified of finishing and reading because of what I was afraid was going to happen to just my beloved characters. Not so much fear of like scary, like oh my gosh that's scary, but just like oh my gosh what is going to happen. And for me that was Rune and Rising, the final in the Grisha trilogy, because so much happens throughout this series and you become so invested in the travels of these characters, and it was coming to the end and revelations were made, and I was just like, no, what happens now? Sadness. Sadly, I have a lot of books that do this. Now there are some obvious ones that came to mind, but I thought let me go with the less obvious ones then, because there's the ones that, you know, I think 90% of people say because it's sad, or there's the ones that, you know, a lot of people died and it's sad. So I've decided to go with another one that actually I had to close the book and walk away for a while and then come back because things were happening that I did not approve of. And actually this happened throughout the entire series, but one book in particular, but I won't say it because of spoilers, but yeah, just things happen in this series that make me very sad and very happy and very, you know, basically this series gives you all the feels, and sadness is one of them. And that is the Red Rising trilogy. Well, I know there's Iron Gold now, and possibly more books, but I'm calling it a trilogy because I believe this is still a trilogy now. Oh, smash! Anger. I feel like I've touched on this one before, specifically a love triangle that transpires in this book that I cannot get on board with, and it causes me deep, deep rage. And that is Three Dark Crowns. Now, as I've said before, the book itself does not make me angry. The book is interesting, and I feel like I might continue with the series just to see where other parts of it goes, but there's this love triangle that I cannot get on board with. That fills me with anger, and I turn into the Godfather because I think I might have to kick some ass. Woo. And now I'm just gonna shake off all the feels, starting fresh. And that is all for the Inside Out book tag. And as always, I tag all of you guys to do it too. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing. I do videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Friday is like a Dancing Freedom Friday one. Anyways, that is all for today. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye!